Soldiers and officers of the Invalid Corps were originally men who had volunteered enlistment into the Army to help fight in the American Civil War. But were these men truly interested in the war efforts, or were they just looking for a paycheck? And if interested in the war, how many of these men stayed interested in the war efforts and followed division movements and battle wins or losses after being placed in the Invalid Corps? I will now use items from my collection to highlight some of the soldiers' thoughts and updates during the Civil War. Writing to a friend, Lieutenant Jim, writing from Carver Hospital in Washington, D.C., wrote, "There is very good news today. Great stories of our Army," although he did not write what those stories were. Private Crawford, writing from Carver Hospital in Washington, D.C., wrote, "There is glorious news from Hooker's Army today. The Rebs are getting whipped this time nicely." July 18, 1863, Captain Hall, assigned to the Invalid Corps, wrote from Desmar Hospital in Washington, D.C., to his friend Susie to say, "We rejoice, however, that victory has perched upon our banners, and we hope to through the assistance of him who doeth all things well, that the rebellion will soon fall, and peace shall again be crowned queen. The fall of Vicksburg, the repulse of Lee at Gettysburg, the success of Rosecrans, and lastly, the surrender of Port Hudson are events in the history of this war which we may well rejoice and be glad." May 8, 1864, Henry Hartshorne of the 11th VRC, 2nd Battalion, wrote his brother to say, "The Army started on the march last Tuesday morning across the Rapidan, and the news was that they had a hard battle yesterday, and we heard heavy cannonading last night, and that they put the rebels all on flight, and I guess old Lee has got into a trap that he can't get out of right away, and I hope that is so. Don't you, John?" A soldier in Alexandria, Virginia, wrote his brother to say, "Grant is still out in front fighting the Rebs. The papers state this morning that Grant has turned Lee's right. It is not worthy of my while to give you any war news, as you have the papers often to read, no doubt." June 7, 1864, Samuel Cole of the 5th VRC, writing from Burnside Barracks in Indiana, wrote his sister to say, "I should be glad as anyone living to have the time soon when our country can be at peace again, but I do not want the war to close until the rebellion is crushed to atoms." August 23, 1864, W.G. Motter of the 11th VRC, writing from Point Lookout, Maryland, wrote, "The news at present is as usual. Grant still keeps the honey in hot water. His movements are slow and sure." September 22, 1864, a soldier writing to his mother wrote, "They are having a great deal of fighting to do there nowadays, and the cavalry are doing the greater part of it. Yesterday the paper announced a great victory by our forces, the particulars of which you will get before this reaches you. It is glorious news and a great victory, but watching how many brave boys fought their last fight on that bloody field is enough to make one sad to think of it." October 14, 1864, A. Cayley, writing from the War Department, wrote his friend to say, "I am almost at a loss to know what to write to you, as the news is all war news here at present, which are getting a stirring character, and in some respect are favorable on our side, and some gloomy. The late battle in the West under Rosecrans has not been successful, as was looked for in that quarter, but I hope there will be something done before long. They are sending him reinforcements from all quarters. There has been a fight with the rebels again in Virginia, and our army has gained the victory, and the report is that they are fighting today, but I have not heard the result of it." February 5, 1865, Damon Waite wrote his mother to say, There has been quite an excitement here for a few days past on account of peace rumors that were everywhere afloat. Mr. Blair, as I suppose you already know, has been to the rebel capital and back twice and persuaded the rebels to think they might make peace by sending commissioners to Washington, which they have done or attempted to do, but old Abe cut the matter short, went down to Fortress Monroe to meet them, and upon meeting them and finding out their business, soon fixed that up and came back to Washington, D.C. They have the impertinence to ask the U.S. to recognize their independence after the war has been going on for nearly 4 years on their account. I think they must be deranged to think of such a thing.